today to celebrate the release of our new book called Voices of the 21st Century, Women Transforming the World. And during our time today, you're going to meet the women behind the stories, have an opportunity to connect with them, ask them some questions in the chat, and we're going to share with you some very exciting news. And we have a special treat by Zanita Johns. As we begin, I'd like to start with a quote by Maya Angelou. And it goes, "We delight in the beauty of the butterfly, but rarely admit the changes it has gone through to achieve that beauty." We use the butterfly on the front cover of Voices of the 21st Century, Women Transforming the World to symbolize the change, transition, adaptation, and growth that these women have gone through themselves. And just like the caterpillar finds comfort in its cocoon, it knows it must change to become the butterfly. And the women in this book have done just that. And they share their personal transformations, some through struggles and challenges, others through triumph and celebrations. They courageously challenge the status quo, bring light to once dark topics, and introduce us to new ways of thinking. These women have worked hard, very hard this year. They've dug in deep. They're being vulnerable at the same time creating this book and all that goes into it. So I'm honored to introduce you to the women in this book who have just become, here's our drum roll, please, big announcement. They have all just become international best-selling authors. From their hard work and your support, the ladies in this book have hit #1 in several different categories. And of course, we have to brag right now because in the UK, we are beating out Prince Harry's book. So that's a lot of fun. So now I'm going to introduce you to Laura Rubenstein. She is been our team leader from day one on this project, guiding us through, getting us connected, helping us with our stories, and making this whole process quite easy to do. So Laura, take it away.
I am so happy and excited. Thank you, Gail. And it's been a wild ride getting to bestseller. So congratulations, authors. You rocked it. You put your heart and souls into this. And what we're going to do now is celebrate each of you. And for those of you watching, you can get the book. It's at voicesofthe21stcenturybook.com. You can read all about our authors there. And the book is 99 cents today as our celebration of our bestseller campaign. We invite you to hear from the heart of each of these women. And in case you need a little bit of understanding of what's in this book, that's why we're here today. We're going to hear from each of these authors about what their story, why you should read it, what it's about, and what you'll take away. So Tracy Eman, would you share with us about your chapter?
Yes, I'd be happy to. I'm so thrilled to be here today. So my name is Tracy Eman, and my chapter is called Embracing Gratitude and Affirmations. I began a gratitude journey and embracing gratitude fully and seeking silver linings when I was diagnosed with breast cancer back in 2010. By sharing my ongoing story and understanding the power of attraction, I've been able to attract more joy and positive energy into my life and the lives of others along the way. So I hope you'll read my chapter. Thank you.
Oh, that's so inspiring. What a great way to start out. Thank you. Anita, please share about your chapter.
Sorry, I almost started talking without unmuting myself. So I am so thrilled to be a part of this particular book. And I think I'm so happy for this one because it's talking about transformation. So the title of my book is, the title of my chapter is The Hidden Secret of True Allyship, Step into Your Discomfort Zone. And it really represents an ongoing commitment that I have to anti-racism activation through courage, conversation, relationship, and accountability. And my ultimate goal is change through personal transformation and reimagining a different future.
Beautiful. Thank you for stepping out and inviting us into that conversation. And Cynthia, share with us about your amazing chapter.
There we go. Okay, sorry about that. Hi, everybody. I'm so honored to be amongst so many amazing, inspirational women. I cried. Anyway, laughed. I loved all the stories. Thank you so much for sharing your souls. As women, we grow through seasons in our life, often in service to others and in different types of relationships, and some of them that are soul crushing, without even realizing that's what's happening. So I found that sharing through vulnerability really enables some powerful connections to help you learn yourself. So my message is really one of loving yourself enough to set healthy boundaries, in addition to a message of not underestimating how powerful financial planning is, and also allowing yourself to really live. I mean, have experiences that take your breath away, and so that at the end of your life, your passions and your dreams are not buried with you. And I love what Helen Keller says. She says, life is a daring adventure or nothing at all. So I hope you'll read my book, or chapter, Chasing Wild Horses. Thank you.
Beautiful. Can't wait. Thank you, Cynthia. And Nak, I'd love to hear about your chapter next.
Thank you. My name is Nak Tran, and I am a CPA. So it's appropriate what my chapter is about, because I have a financial literacy program here in the Bay Area. And my chapter is called Your Relationship with Money Matters. And why I say that is that your relationship with money has a profound impact on how you see and experience life, how quickly it can really disappear, and how wealth can be rebuilt with the right money mindset, passion, and courage to keep going. If you want to shift your financial paradigms, you get to shift your money mindset in relationship with money and change your life. So it's important how you see and view your relationship with money to change your life.
It sure is. Wow. We're already starting off with the first few chapters. I cannot wait to dive in on, it's just like, oh, how rich can our life get, right? Literally with Knock, right? So, and what you said, Cynthia. So Andrea, tell us about your chapter title and what people will take away. Andrea is still with us. Okay, so let's go over to Angeline. Your chapter.
Hello, everyone. My name is Angeline Moore. I'm so excited to be part of this collaboration with these phenomenal women. I'm so honored. Thank you so much to all the authors and to Laura and Gail and the Women's Speaker Association. My chapter title is Faith Forward in God Instances versus Coincidences. Because how many have you ever experienced a coincidence, right? And throughout your life, it seems like you at least have one coincidence that occurs to you, and it's more of a WTF moment, right? So in my chapter, I invite you to open your heart set and your mindset as I share how you can faith forward in your darker challenges of life and how you see these coincidences as God instances versus coincidences. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. And I love how you call them coinkydinks, and we all have had them. That's great. Andrea, are you able to get on sound now?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yay.
Oh, thank goodness. I am here, and I'm Andrea Tompkins. I'm so honored to be with you all today. My chapter. Are you still there?
Yes, we are.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I'm in Bermuda and it's windy, so you never know what's going to happen with technology. Living in Love at 582 Hertz is the name of my chapter. And I share about my daily journal, shifting from living a life of fear to living a life from a place of love and gratitude. I hope to inspire others to do the same as each of us transform our lives. Upgraded vibrations ripple out and help to transform the vibration of the planet. So by doing our own personal work, we're actually doing our part to help transform the world. Let's vibrate at love.
Let's do it. I'm all right. Are you feeling that vibration, everyone? Yeah. It's like we're here with you, Andrea. That's great. So Candace, share with us about your chapter and the title.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Candace Platter, and I am an addictions therapist working specifically with families that are dealing with the devastation of addiction. Today, at 35 years clean and sober, my self-respect is intact, and I will never give away my own empowerment again. My chapter is called Ready or Not, Here I Come.
Yes, we are ready. And that is so inspiring for others and families who are dealing with those challenges. Thank you, Candace. Angelica, I'd love to know about your chapter title and what people will take away. And are you on mute? There, come on off mute. There you are.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. And I have one question for you. Are you letting unresolved issues from your childhood stand in your way? You're not alone if you are. So many of us carry emotional baggage because of the rejection, trauma, or racism we faced as children that is still causing us not to fully show up in today's world as we should. So my chapter is entitled, So That's Me Stepping Out in Faith and Not Fear, because we all seem to sit comfortably in fear, but it's time to allow ourselves to step fully into the gift that we are supposed to be in. So thank you very much.
Thank you for your wonderful work and chapter. And I'm sensing a theme here of people moving out of fear. There's so much fear in this world. And you know what? We are the fear busters here at Women Speakers Association in the Voices of the 21st Century, Women Transforming the World. So Deb Alcadino, tell us about what your chapter is about.
Thanks, Laura. It's so amazing to be here, as everyone has said, in the company of all of these incredible authors. Thank you. Deb Alcadino, my chapter is called Soul Lights Shining Brightly. And I give a glimpse into my life journey and share how I rewrote my life story to keep my soul light shining brightly so that I can empower others to reach their potential and do good in the world. So a couple of takeaways. The first one is rewriting our life story can change the trajectory of our future. And the second is by learning and living our true purpose, we can tackle some of life's and the world's greatest challenges and change the world.
Indeed, we can. And getting to that true purpose is what a lot of you are inspiring each other, the readers, to do. And Debbie Helena, please share about your chapter title and why people should read it.
Thank you. And just like Deb said, I'm just so honored to be here. This is an extraordinary sisterhood of authors, and this collaboration has just been unbelievable. So my chapter title is Linda. And I wrote this in honor of my mom, who is no longer on the planet. However, her inspiration still shines, and my intention is to keep her flame going. And I did that through telling a little bit of her story. And the biggest takeaway from my chapter for you is that it doesn't matter what limitations you feel like you have. It doesn't matter if they're physical. It doesn't matter if your family believes something else, your doctors or experts believe something. Nothing matters but what you believe. Because what you believe is what you will see in your world. We are so powerful, we're creators, and it's all mental. At the end of the day, it's all up here. So one of my favorite quotes is from Henry Ford: whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And that is the message I want to impart with sharing my mom's story. And I don't know if you can see her, I've got her here with me. That's my mom. She was a triathlete, and she had a lot of physical obstacles to overcome, but she didn't let anything that anyone else said about her stop her. She had the vision in her mind, and she lived that. So that's my share.
And that's awesome. Another inspiring story to read. If you want to get your copy of Voices of the 21st Century, Women Transforming the World, visit voicesofthe21stcenturybook.com. I know Tracy's saying she's got shivers. I've got shivers. Just listen to these authors. And our next one is Rena. Tell us about your chapter and title and takeaways.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Laura. I think you're right. There's definitely a theme here, and it doesn't stop here. Fear, false evidence appearing real, and anxiety. These can both be immobilizing and just have a tremendously detrimental effect on your life and the lives of those who are close to you. I share with you my personal story of how I released the shackles of this debilitating condition of fear and anxiety after life threw me some major curveballs. And I found myself a single mother of two, moving for career sake and other challenges there. And the name of my chapter is called Lead with Your Worth, Not Your Worry. Thank you, Laura.
Oh, beautiful. Yes, we're on a roll here with so much positivity and transformational stories and wisdom. So if you want some wisdom, Voices of the 21st Century book.com. Today is our bestseller. We are already a #1 bestseller. I am so excited about that. You can get in on the party too. Grab your copy, Voices of the 21st Century book.com. And now I'd love to hear from Hema. Tell us about your title and of your story and what people will take away.
Oh, hi everyone. That's perfect timing because my title is Heart, Wisdom, Truth and Destiny. It's a little bit of my story when I was a little girl and the heart-opening moment that I had that for many years I thought was about heartbreak. Often we look back at childhood memories and we can recognize them as holding a certain level of trauma. However, it's important for us to realize how those moments can hold the greatest gift for healing, both individually and collectively. The heartbreak we hold in our hearts as a reminder to protect ourselves is actually the very heartbreak that we need to allow to open up, to allow the heartbreak to open to heart wisdom. And my hope is that by using my experience as an example, you'll be more able to reach deeper truths and broaden your perspectives. Thank you.
Yes, heartbreak to heart opening. And that's what we are here supporting each other in, is that heart opening. Thank you, Hema. Jessica, would you share about your chapter and the title?
Yes, hello. My name is Jess, and through my practice called The Blank Page, I do transformative healing work with people. My chapter is called The Atlas of the Subconscious, and it will give you a new framework for how you see yourself and your trauma and your mental health. My chapter will help you reinterpret the feelings in your body and the behaviors that seem so out of line with who you are and who you really want to be. Because when you heal yourself, you change the world. Thank you.
Indeed. Here's to transforming the world. Yes. One transformation at a time. That's beautiful. So, Joanne, please share about your chapter next.
Hi, I'm Joanne Mulhall, and I'm a holistic nutritionist. And I came into that field kind of exploring my own personal health issues and wanting to get my health on track. And my chapter is called The Fork in the Road. And that sort of reflects my journey through that experience and how I ended up becoming into a holistic health career. And definitely there's a theme that you can see over and over again, which I think is so amazing to be part of this collective project with this common theme of just how we can share our different perspectives on how things have changed for us in our lives and how we view these things. So my chapter is just really about observing those forks in the road rather than being in them. And I call this the third act, 60 plus. I stole that directly from Jane Fonda, not my own term. And how we get to that point and we look at those forks in the road and we start to delve a little deeper, maybe into, what they were and what, how they got us to where we are now and where they're going to take us. And so my piece is really just about reflecting on that, asking a few questions about those major forks or even the minor ones that took you on your kind of circuitous path to where you are. And also seeing, as we've already talked about the gifts in those forks and where they took us and where they're bringing us and where they're going to take us.
Beautifully said. And I can't wait to dive in. These transformations happen when we're courageous, and each of you are courageous and giving so many more women courage out there. If you want to get the book that we're talking about, it's Voices of the 21st Century Women Transforming the World at voicesofthe21stcenturybook.com. All right. How about you, Judy? I'd love to hear about your story in the book and the title of it.
Hi, Laura. Thank you to both Laura and Gail of Women's Speakers Association and all my fellow authors. I'm really very grateful to be part of this collaborative collection of personal stories. My story is called After the Fall, and my chapter shares my life story. It is about resilience and accepting yourself fully and completely. Life's events do not define a person. They provide an opportunity for personal growth and acceptance. I finally wrote my story as a tribute to my daughters, so they give themselves permission to celebrate their femaleness in our world. For years, I felt trapped in my own body, similar to the chrysalis before a butterfly emerges. I continue to work on breaking through my mental barriers and in service to others to do the same.
Beautiful. Thank you for that additional courageous story, and revealing it is even part of that process that gives other people courage. Okay, great. Next up is Susan. Let's have you share about your chapter.
Hello, everyone. I'm Susan Isaac, and I created Susan Isaac Design. I'm a designer and glass artist. And my story is about the most perilous, difficult journey as an adult that I have taken, which is from my head to my heart. And it's about burning and firing the imposter syndrome. I'm not good enough. I'll never be an artist. I can't do that. I'm never going back to that damn studio. And how did I overcome that? And about the support, that loving support that's needed. So also I'm parallel walking, that I have told my story on airwaves and on stage many times, but never in writing. And I was terrified to write this chapter. And I wrote it with the love and support of 6 people and this wonderful tribe. So that's another burning the imposter that happened for me. And the other takeaway as you read my story of coming into my authentic self is the story of a customer giving me an email about the president of the Lithuanian University at the beginning of the Ukraine war, and how a gift of my glass art and trying to encourage her, because now she has an entire campus of homeless Ukrainian students. And what it taught me is to stay focused on my passion and what is important to me, and peace and joy in my inside, and not to think about the impact I'm having on the world. The world will come to me and tell me what the impact and the interpretation of my passion is. So you'll find out a little bit more about how I became wild, unpredictable, and a little bit dangerous.
Woohoo! Here's to being wild and dangerous. I love it. All right, LaTanya, I'd love to hear about your story and your title of your chapter.
Hello, everyone. My name is LaTanya Logan. It is indeed an honor to be here today. The title of my chapter is From Turmoil to Transformation, and it is a very transparent and vulnerable piece about how my already tumultuous marriage ended in tragedy with the death of my husband. In my healing process, I went through an incredible transformation where I took the opportunity to rebuild and rebrand the person who I knew I was, but I had lost. I am so excited to join 44 other dynamic women in the publication of this edition of Voices of the 21st Century. And I hope that the transforming release I had when writing my chapter will transfer to everyone who reads it. I wrote my story in hopes that it will resonate with other women who have experienced a similar path. Again, my chapter is From Turmoil to Transformation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tanya, and I know it will transform many lives, as many of these stories, all these stories are transformative. Melissa, I'd love to hear you about your chapter title and what it's about, what people will take away.
Hi, everybody. My name is Melissa Rowe, and I'm just so excited and so happy to be part of this powerful group of authors. Once again, this is my second time around with Voices of the 21st Century. The name of my chapter is My Mother, My Hero. It was later in my life that I recognized that my mother was really my hero once I was identifying some of the similarities that I have with her. She was a very strong, powerful, courageous, often silent woman. Well, I'm not always silent, but it's a pleasure to be able to honor her for the creation that she has allowed me to have, in that courage and strength. And part of the takeaway for the readers I would like them to have is that a lot of us who were born grew up in the Caribbean, we were from early years, we had chores. And those chores were sometimes, as kids, we saw them as a burden. But it's had to create part of who I have become. And I invite the readers to recognize that it's never too late to pay honor and give gratitude to your mother. In the Caribbean, we also have many mothers. You grew up in a small village, we have all the mothers in the community were mothers, so we call them aunts. So we have lots of aunties and lots of mothers. So this is in gratitude not only to the mother who gave birth to me, but to all the mothers who supported me as a child. And thank you so much for this opportunity.
Well, thank you. And one of the highlights of this book is what you were saying, Melissa, and you've heard it in many of our authors, that we are dedicating various chapters to various people, like mothers, like daughters, and other people who have influenced our lives. So look for that in the book. And of course, you can get the book on sale today. It's on Amazon. And also you can get there directly by going to voicesofthe21stcenturybook.com and find your appropriate link for your country. We're already a bestseller. And then you're hearing from the authors why this is already a bestseller, because we are giving voice to powerful women, and we are the voices of the 21st century, women transforming the world. So let's hear from another woman transforming the world, Nargis.
Hi, everyone. Can I start by saying it's such an honor to be here with all of you. My name is Nargis Nurumvala, pronounced Narges, and name of my chapter is My Journey of Transformation from Worthless to Worthy. I am Canada's leading executive speech coach. I work with Fortune 500 clients every day. But 12 years ago, I was pregnant, broke, and unemployed. I could not even get a minimum wage job. Minimum wage was $8 an hour at the time. No one believed I was worth that. And so I didn't believe I was worth anything. And it is my journey that I share in this book. It's very personal. It's a journey of struggle and adversity, and the work I had to do on the inside to find success on the outside. And to become the person I am today, and I hope it inspires the readers. I am in the top 3% of all social media users in the world now. two-time best-selling author at the age of 51, so it is never too late, ever, and an international speaker and an official TEDx speaker coach. So I hope it inspires everyone watching this and everyone reading that it is never too late, and no one has the right to tell you that you are not worthy. You need to find that within yourself. Everyone is worthy just because of who they are. Thank you.
Well said, Nargis. Thank you so much for the inspiring story and being willing to share it. It will make a huge difference. And I know you've already making huge differences. Roshana, would love to hear about your story.
Hi, everyone. Oh, I'm not sure.
You might be on twice. If you could lower the volume where you're hearing us on. And then.
That better?
Yep.
I can't hear you.
It's fine. Go ahead.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Roshana Jackson, and I am honored to be amongst a group of such esteemed women. God is so faithful and so present in my life, and I do not take this moment lightly. So I am a confidence and self-care coach, and my story of learning how to live, not just survive, is what has brought me to this moment today. In my book, or in the chapter, my story will take you on a powerful journey of a young girl who learns tough life lessons that teach her how to stand in her truth, live in her authenticity, dream big, and love the life that she is living in order for her to get out of survival mode and just be present in the moment. And I hope that my journey will help another woman understand the importance of being okay with saying no to others, to be able to find the balance that they need in their life to live a full, fulfilling, sustainable life.
Woohoo! You know, we can accomplish anything, women. You know, with stories like Roshana's and everyone's you've heard today. You know, it's like if you can do it, if they can do it, you can do it. Awesome. I'd like to go over to Natasha and hear about your journey, your story that you have to share with us in the book.
Hello, everyone. My name is Natasha Williams, and the title of my chapter is "Don't Die with Your Music Still Inside." And I wrote this chapter because my mother had, in April, my mother was on her deathbed, and she was sad. And she wasn't sad because she was dying at a young 69 years old. She was sad because she said that she felt as if she had accomplished nothing in her life. And with tears running down her face, you know, how do you console somebody at the end of their life when they feel like they have no more opportunities to do what they could have done? So I just reassured her. I said, you know what? Everybody doesn't have big, gigantic goals or purpose in life. I said, sometimes your purpose could be small, like just having me, because without you, there will be no me. Without me, there will be no Boss Ladies TV. So I started a whole network to dedicate it to my mother so that she could feel that just by having me, she did do something in her life, and she smiled before she took her last breath. So that's what my chapter is about. And so it's the story about, you know, it's never too late to do what you might have done or be who you might be, who you might be, unless you're on your deathbed. But don't wait until you're on your deathbed to start. So no matter how old you are, whether you're 50, 60, 70, if you're still breathing, you still have something to do. And that's the stories that we're going to tell on Boss Ladies TV. Thank you.
Woohoo! Beautiful. And way to bring it out in such a beautiful way as well. And Shelley, would love to hear about your chapter.
We teach people how to treat us. I am Shelley Bell, and my chapter is Stop Playing Small. I share my personal journey of the things that I've gone through because of a birth defect, and it allowed me to play small so others could shine and thrive. I want readers to understand that regardless of your situation, regardless of your limitations, regardless of your disability or birth defect, you do not have to play small. Rise up, own your power, walk in your truth, be authentic, and I give you permission to be successful and to thrive. Thank you.
And thank you. Powerful. We all there? Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Shelley. And Stephanie.
Awesome.
Stephanie, yes. Share about your story.
Hi, Laura. Thanks for having me. And thanks to everybody else in this amazing book that's contributed. These stories are really incredible. And I'm finding it quite fascinating how similar they are and how our own personal dynamic circumstance has made them each a little bit different. But it's wonderful because it will speak to a very, very wide audience. So I found myself, the name of my chapter, the title of my chapter is You, a Love Story. And it began because I found myself adrift in my life, and a circumstance in my own personal life had backed me into a corner. And in that moment, I had a choice to either stay or grow. And I chose to grow. So the story is about that journey, and it speaks to anybody who's ever felt self-doubt, unworthiness, struggled with self-esteem. And at the end of the day, my story ended up being a love letter that I wrote to myself, and I offer it as an invitation to any woman out there to honor themselves enough to write their own love story. Thank you.
What a great idea. And we have the perfect venue to write your own love story to yourself and to others. If you want to do that perfectly here at Voices of the 21st Century. And you can get the book and hear these lovely women's stories at Voices of the 21st Century book.com. We still have more authors to share. It's so amazing. Our hearts are getting so full, but you know what? We can always use more love. So let's hear from Tanya.
Hello, everybody. It's an honor to be on your team on this book project. Well, my name is Tanya Williamson, and I help individuals build sustainable businesses, strong families, and resilient communities. I own a business development firm, and so my book really hones, or rather my chapter title really hones into inequities and opposition couldn't stop me. And so my chapter is designed to help women entrepreneurs to not become intimidated by opposition or inequity when building a business. Instead, learn how to face both head on by attracting and growing a strong alliance of professionals like the Women Speakers Associate around you that supports you as you pioneer and pave the way for the next generation of women entrepreneurs. To the entrepreneurial woman that is actually reading this book, and I'll give a chime in for the men too, let me remind you, there are untapped markets sitting on the sidelines that need your product and services. Literally, when I say that they are waiting for you, they're waiting for what you have to offer. So stop looking at the inequity and the opposition, and instead, once again, confront both head on, which I addressed in this chapter. Then get on with providing offerings that will create transformational impact in the lives of communities. And so as a born transformational leader, I thought that this chapter would really help inspire a woman who really needs some encouragement along this amazing journey.
Absolutely. And thanks for offering that encouragement. And Charmaine, I'd love to hear about your chapter and the takeaways.
Thank you, and congratulations to all of the incredible authors. It's a pleasure to be in Voices of the 21st Century book again. And this chapter I wrote is called How You Show Up Matters. A lot of times we think about making a difference in the world, making an impact, transforming global change. And we think we have to show up in a way that is big actions, or that takes money, or that takes a lot of work. And what I've learned through life is that sometimes, in fact, a lot of the times, how we show up is what really makes the difference. And in my story, I share actually two examples, one about an exercise I did called Letters to My Mentors. And I reached out as an adult to all of those people in my childhood that have made a difference in my life, including family. So my dance teacher, other people, my grade 9 English teacher. And then I also chose an example of how something, in terms of my work as a correctional officer, we had done an activity with the young offenders that I worked with. And I had a chance to meet one of them. I think it was about 15 years later. And he remembered the exercise that we did. And I was just doing my job. It was part of how I showed up. And so it was really clarifying for me to see that we can make a huge impact in the world just simply by how we show up. We never know how someone's last 5 minutes were.
That's amazing that we, this book is going to be picked up by somebody who needs your story. And again, you can get the book at voicesofthe21stcenturybook.com. Lisa, I'd love to hear from you about your story.
Thank you, Laura. And I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited about the Voices of the 21st Century, not just the book, but in listening to everybody's stories. I am so hopeful and so full of joy. And I'd be remiss to tell you, when this started, a rainbow came outside my house. So just saying. So I'm Lisa Condon, and my chapter is called Reflection. And ultimately, as we all know, we may have had this thing called a pandemic that we all experienced. And for myself and for others that I was surrounded by, I watched this beautiful change start to happen. And really, the lessons that I learned became the baseline of my heart and my actions coming out of the pandemic, and really changed how I approach the world. And so I'm hoping that my chapter will really let others look at themselves, look inward, and really go back to what they value, what brings them passion, and what brings them joy.
And here's to so much joy for everybody. Thank you, Lisa. And Barbara, tell us about your chapter.
Thank you, Laura. And it's such an honor to be here with everyone. This is so exciting. I didn't know that I had reached bestseller until I came on the call. So I am like over the moon. This is fantastic. And everybody's stories are so powerful. My story is about a risk I took in my life that did help me find my purpose. Deb mentioned finding your purpose, and it's also about a fork in the road. Joanne mentioned that. I took a vacation to Italy. I met a guy, and the fork in the road was, do I go back to live with him? And I chose to do that with some consequences. Let's just say I found myself on my own pretty quickly after I made the move. But what's interesting about it is that I also found my life in staying. I found my purpose. I found what energizes me, and the work that I do today is very much related to that. What I do now is I help other people communicate in a way that allows them to transform the world. So it's a little bit of what everyone has said here today, my journey, the transformation that occurred for me that allows me then to encourage other people to take risk and transform and become the person that they can be. So I just want to thank everybody for everything that you've said, because it's all resonated. Thank you.
And totally. And thanks for inspiring people to find their purpose. So whether you're looking for more positivity or purpose or getting over your limitations, this is the book. And we still have Anne-Marie. I'd love to hear from you.
Sorry, I have to find the button. Thank you. It's very moving to sit here and listen to everyone, to all their stories. And this is my second time around to be in Voices. And each time, each book it has something different, but it has the same thing and very powerful stories. So thank you very much, Gail, for telling me I needed to be again part of this. And Laura, for always guiding us to where we are at now. I'm a story catcher and a narrative coach. The title of my chapter is Finding What You Didn't Lose. My story is about resilience, determination, hope, grace, and above all, love. It's about a family who had to be uprooted and leave behind what they knew and start again in a place foreign to them. I dedicated the story to my parents. To my mother, she was the strength and the trailblazer. But I could not forget my father, because he was the constant supporter of her. He unstintingly always accepted her strength. So that was very important for me to make sure that I dedicated to both of them. When we were uprooted and leave behind what we knew, we had to start again in a place foreign to ourselves. My parents never lost sight of their faith and accepted new beginnings and mixed it with old rituals and ceremonies. What they left us with was the inspiration that as a family, together with strangers, we are connected through the interwoven complex life each of us live. I hope you will enjoy my story. I hope that that you find something in it to accept all the hardship that you might encounter in your life. Thank you.
And thank you for that inspiration, Anne-Marie. And I'd like to bring up Sarah next.
Hi, thank you. It's really wonderful to be a part of this book and to get to know all of the authors and to hear your stories. They are so powerful and inspirational. I'm honored to be a part of it. So my chapter is called The Dark Room, and it is me sharing a moment where I was at my worst, where I was at my rock bottom. I had made some choices in my life that I was sure were going to be the best choice for me and for my family, and actually it backfired and I failed. And so my story is about being homeless, destitute, with two children who have additional needs to take care of, and I really had no way to provide for them. And I didn't know what to do next. I was a young mother. I was clueless. And so I share that moment. I share the inner turmoil that I have while lying in this dark room holding my children about what to do next and how to dig myself out of this hole, and the fear that I felt, and what are some of the things that I focused on to bring myself from this really terrible place to a place where I'm now very happy, successful, my children are happy, and we're secure and we're safe. So the takeaway that readers will have after reading my story is facing fear, to look into the eyes of fear and to deal with that, to be courageous and to overcome those fears. And to know that you're not alone in your struggles, you're not alone in facing these fears. We've all faced hardship, and to believe in yourself and to know that if you can push through this, that there is something better on the other side, and we're all here behind you. Our stories are where our power lies, to help one another and to transform the world. And one more thing is to just not see failure as the end. You're not a victim of failure. I felt like a victim, but we're not victims of failure. There are lessons to learn in our failures, just as we can learn from one another in the stories that we share. So that's what's in my chapter.
Absolutely, 100%, giving people the inspiration to move through whatever trials they are experiencing, that they may feel like a victim, but use it to leverage them into possibility for their future. And we have Catherine to it here to share. Can you share your title of your story and a quick takeaway that people are going to get from reading it in the chapter? Are you able to come off mute and talk to us, Kate?
Apparently not.
Hoping you can. I see you still on mute, but we're not yet here. But Catherine Tewitt is in the book, and hopefully you can share. I'm going to share my story in the meantime. Let me come on. I have to find where I am to come on Spotlight. There we go. So I have a chapter 2 in this book. It's been a delight to be in. I think this is my 5th Voices book that I'm in, and my story is called Life-Changing Perspectives. And what you'll take away is the power of perspective to naturally and magically change your life. And I have 3 tools I give you. I call them my 3 Ps. And so I talk about how I changed my life from being a really negative, critical, blaming kind of person into a really positive, productive, and powerful woman. And I give you my secrets to that. So you'll have to read it at voicesofthe21stcenturybook.com. Grab your copy now. And I just want to see, is Kate here ready to talk, or I think she had to leave. Is that right? Anybody see? I think we're not going to get her on today, but she's another fabulous author in the book. And we have a very, very special part of our book. We have a poet, Zan Johns, who wrote a poem for the beginning of the book in dedication to women transforming the world. And Zan, I was hoping you could read that for us today.
Hi, Laura, and congratulations to all of the phenomenal women in this book. I am Zanita Varnado Johns, also known as Zan Johns. I want to first tell you that my chapter is called DNA Match, Our Family Redefined. I share how unexpected news from Ancestry.com changed our family with intense feelings of mystery, love, and joy. Our family, this hit close to home. We learned of another relative that we welcomed with open arms, open hearts. And what I want readers to take away from my chapter is the courage, if you are wanting to seek your family, unknown family members, if you have a search, if you've been adopted, or whatever the situation is, be brave. Love awaits on the other side. I wrote a poem, and as you've heard all of these stories, I had a glimpse into what was going to be shared by these amazing ladies. I wrote a poem called Soaring Intently, and I want to dedicate this poem today to my amazing co-authors and, of course, to the readers of our beautiful book. Together we soar, sister to sister. We stumble, we recover, we rise. Hand in hand, we are heartened. Arms locked, shoulders down, chins up, voices unmuted. We take our time, step by intentional step. We oversee our destiny. We take charge. Minds opened, bodies healed, relations mended, fears conquered, outlooks brightened, selves loved, goals achieved, careers changed, finances tended, hope restored, grief consoled, faith deepened, courage expanded, wisdom gained. We are butterflies in flight. We delight in our freedom, freedom born of trials and thrills. From our favorite spaces around the globe, transformations flourish, spontaneous and deliberate. We are authentic, unscrambled, our puzzled pieces properly placed, wounds healed, internal fires ignited. We are whole and wholesome. Watch us sparkle with eyes transfixed on that beacon of goodwill ahead. There's no looking back except to evolve. We know better. Now watch us do better. Watch us ascend purposely. Watch us bolster our communities. Watch us uplift the children. Watch us love unconditionally. Watch us transform the world. Thank you. Watch us.
Watch us. Join us.
Watch us, join us.
Okay.
I hope everybody watching right now can just feel what we're feeling right now. We're typing in chat how emotional we're feeling, how happy we're feeling, how we're excited. And we know that each one of these stories have a home in someone, and they need to find that someone, and we need your help to get this book and to get it out. So we want to invite you to really come in and connect. You can come and meet each author. If you go to voicesofthe21stcentury.com, voicesofthe21stcenturybook.com, you can see all the authors there. You can see them. You can connect with them. Reach out. If you want an individually autograph signed book from them, please, we encourage you to do that. We need your help in helping their message find its rightful owner in this world. I just want to really, if we can come on big screen again, maybe Laura, and I would love everybody to conclude with, I mean, Zan, your poem was it's just, it's bang on each time. And that whole phrase, watch us. And it would be great if we could all end with that, 1, 2, 3, watch us. How does that sound? Because you're all amazing. And just before we go, thanks to our amazing team, Laura, you met Tracy, who works a lot with the website, getting your pictures up. Charmaine, who is teaching us and continually teaching us on how to get our message out there. Karen Strauss and her team with Karina really supporting us, and Claudia. You all love Claudia working with our editor, Natasha with the help with our graphics. I'm good. Have I missed anybody? No. Yeah. It's been a beautiful experience. And with that, we would love to wish everybody in this world a great day wherever you are. And we can go into our 1, 2, 3.
Watch us. Thank you, everyone. We will see you. Get your book at voicesofthe21stcenturybook.com. Thank you for inspiring the world.